welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the rapid fire book tag. So I'm just going to try and do this as the questions come, try not to think about them. I obviously have got a few books by my side just because some of them do involve books. Let's just get straight on into it. So ebook or physical book, I have to go with a physical book. I like to display them on my shelves and you can't really do that with an ebook. Paperback or hardback? Oh, hardback just because they are a bit more durable and they are prettier to display on your bookcase, whereas paperbacks, they are easier to carry around, but yeah, hardbacks do tend to be a bit more prettier. Online or in-store book shopping? Probably bookstore. There's something about going into a bookstore and just having it filled with books. You can find anything there, whereas online you're generally just searching for a book you already know about. So yeah, I'm going to go for shopping in a bookstore. Trilogies or series? I'm going to go series, because if it's a character that I do really like, I do like to read a lot of them, whereas trilogies can be okay, but sometimes you are left wanting a bit more. Heroes or villains? Oh, hard one. Probably at the moment heroes, just because heroes do tend to get a bit more of a fleshed out story. If villains got storylines as good as heroes, then I would say villains. Yeah, heroes just because they get better character development and stuff like that. A book you want everyone to read? Daughter of the Burning City by Amanda Foody. So this was June's Fairy Loot book. I read it in about a day or two and it is just amazing. I think this is the best book of 2017 so far. This basically follows, I think it's Serena, and she's basically the only illusion worker in this kind of travelling festival, and she creates these illusions which are basically her family, but then they start being killed off, which is odd because they are illusions, they shouldn't be able to be killed, and it's just so good. You get introduced to all these illusions who all have their own personalities, you get the people in the festival, and it's basically like, someone on Goodreads reviewed it as Cluedo in a circus, and that is probably the best review I've ever seen of it, because that is so true. It's a good murder mystery and it's got magic, it's a circus, and just look at that cover as well. Look at that, it's just an amazing book, and I think you have to read this year. Recommended underrated book? So for this I have to go with The Muse by Jessie Burton. This is one that if you've watched my channel you know I always mention this book. I have not heard a booktuber mention this on their channel yet. I've had people maybe mention it in book hauls, but no one's ever done a review or anything on it. My review's down below, but it is one of the first reviews I ever did on this channel, so it is awful. Basically this follows two different time zones. It follows, I think it was the 1960s and also the 1930s, and basically in the 1960s a painting is found and they're trying to discover who did it, what does it mean, stuff like that. And then back in the 1930s in Spain you get to see how the painting became to be, the secrets behind it. It is so good. If you like your historical fiction, go for it. Also if you like The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton, go for it, because this book made Jessie Burton my favourite author. And again, just look at that cover. Again, whenever I mention this book I always mention the cover, because the cover is like so amazing. But yeah, this is so underrated, you have to give this a read. It's the last book you finished, and for me that's Daughter of the Burning City. I just finished this and I am currently reading The Diary of Anne Frank. The last book you brought? The last book I brought was two books. I went to Oxfam and found two books that I want to read. First one is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. Now this has been on my TBR for a while. I think I saw it on the Goodreads Book Awards, it was nominated, and I have wanted to read it because at the time I liked my thrillers, but I want to get back into them. If you've watched some of my previous videos you know that recently thrillers haven't been agreeing with me, and so I thought I'd buy this, and it was hardback, good condition, quite cheap as well. I think it was $1.99. The other one I bought at Oxfam was Wolf by Ryan Grodin. I think I butchered that name, sorry. Again, this has been a book that's been on my TBR for a while. All I know about it is that it's something about Nazis and Nazi hunters. Basically, the first thing I saw was 17-year-old Yale is part of the resistance. She has just one mission to kill Hitler. So that got me straight away, and I'm so glad to finally have it. And I think the next book is already out. Is it Blood by Blood? I'm not too sure, but I can't wait to read this. I am so excited. The weirdest thing you've ever used as a bookmark? Probably paper tissues. I just get paper tissue and pop it in. It's a bit disgusting, but yeah. Used books, yes or no? As you can just tell by last books I brought, I do go into Oxfam, a charity shop, quite often. I do like them as long as they are in good condition. If they're not in good condition, then I won't bother. Top 3 favourite genres, off the top of my head: historical fiction, fantasy, and I'm going to say crime. Borrow or buy? I have to buy books because I need to keep them on my shelf as proof I've read them. Characters or plot? I am quite plot driven. If a plot's boring, then I won't want to read it. I like bits of action and stuff. The characters, if the plot's okay, the plot will carry me along, so I don't really mind. Long or short books? I'm a big fan of short books. Long books just scare me because the last few long books I've had that were over 600 pages, I couldn't finish them. Long or short chapters? Again, short chapters, because I'm one of those people who, if someone tells me to stop reading, I have to finish the chapter. So if it's a long chapter, then I'm reading for ages, or I have to stop mid-chapter, which hurts me so much. So short chapters are definitely better for me. Name the first 3 books you think of. Blood by Blood, Feed and Throne of Glass. Books that make you laugh or cry. I am more likely to cry at a book than laugh at a book, just because I find humour hard to get through books, whereas crying, if a character I love dies, then I will just cry my eyes out. Our world or fictional worlds? I do like fictional worlds. I like to get away from this rubbish world we're in and just go into another world and imagine me being there. Audiobooks, yes or no? I have to say no. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes, I think everyone does. I think everyone's gone to a shop, seen a cover and thought, oh, that's good, and maybe bought it, and then it doesn't seem as good as you thought it would be. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? I'm going to say book to TV just because they do tend to be a bit better, because with TV you can have like 13-20 episodes. You've got enough time to fit everything in, whereas movies, you basically just have a 2-hour movie to fit everything in one movie, and so that's why I think TV is best. A movie or TV show that you preferred to its book? Now, I know this is rapid fire, but I have to think about this. Probably going to go for The Hunger Games. The Hunger Games, I have to tell you, is a really, really good book series, but there's just something about the film. They got the casting right, the storylines were perfect, it was just brilliant, so I think I'm just going to have to say The Hunger Games. Series or standalones? Like I said earlier, I do like my series if I do like the characters, but at the moment I am liking standalones, but then when I read the standalone I'm thinking I want to know more. So actually I think I am going to go with series. So yeah, that's it for the rapid fire book tag. I hope you enjoyed it. I will find out who did the original and pop it down below. But apart from that, what do you think of these questions? It'd be interesting to see what you think, because they're quite varied and stuff that we don't normally mention on BookTube. But I can't wait to see what you think. So if you just want to comment down below, or as usual, you can like this video, subscribe to this channel, and there's also my social media like Tumblr, Instagram, all linked down below. So I will see you later with a new video. Bye!